Speaker, the Queen commands this Honourable House to attend upon Her Majesty immediately in the House of Peers.
Okay. Nice and tall.
Ken? No. You walk with Douglas. With Douglas.
Order! The question is that all members who are returned for 2 or more places in any part of the United Kingdom do make their election for which of the places they will serve within 1 week after it shall appear there is no question upon the return for that place. And if anything shall come in question touching the return or election of any member, he is to withdraw during the time the matter is in debate, and that all members returned upon double returns do withdraw till their returns are determined. That no peer of the realm, except a peer of Ireland, hath any right to give his vote in the election of any member to serve in this Parliament. That if it shall appear that any person hath been elected or returned a member of this House, or endeavoured to be so by bribery or any other corrupt practices, this House will proceed with the utmost severity against all such persons as have been wilfully concerned in such bribery or any other corrupt practices. The question is, this House doth agree. Many of that opinion say aye. Contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is that if it shall appear that any person hath been tampering with any witness in respect of his evidence to be given to this House, or any committee thereof, or directly or indirectly hath endeavoured to deter or to hinder any person from appearing on giving evidence, the same is declared to be a high crime and misdemeanour, and this House will proceed with the utmost severity against such offenders. That if it shall appear that any person hath given false evidence in any case before this House, or any committee thereof, this House will proceed with the utmost severity against such offenders. Many of that opinion say aye. Contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is that the Commissioner of the Police of the Metropolis do take care. Order. Order. The question is that the Commissioner of Police of the Metropolis do take care that during the session of Parliament, the passages leading to the streets to this House be kept free and open, and that no obstruction be permitted to hinder the passage of members to and from this House, and that no disorder be allowed in Westminster Hall or in the passages leading to this House during the sitting of Parliament, and that there be no annoyance therein or thereabouts, and that the Sergeant-at-Arms attending this House do communicate this order to the Commissioner of the aforesaid. As many as of that opinion say, order, Mr. Cryer.
I understand it's debatable, is this resolution, as indeed they all are, Mr. Speaker, and it is the right of members to actually exercise that function of debating in this House, whether there are television cameras here or not. And what concerns me, Mr. Speaker, is that I fully support the access of members to this House and for the obstruction of members to be completely removed. But I can recall, not very long ago, Mr. Speaker, when some members of the citizenry, students, wanted to come to this House and express a point of view. And I think it's important that the House consider extending these rights to the citizens and taxpayers who actually pay for this institution, so that they have access to this place, and we know that when they want to make representations, that the police are going to help them as well and not cause obstructions as occurred on the last time with the student demonstrations.
Order. Order. The honourable member is quite correct. These motions are debatable. Many of that opinion say aye. Aye. The contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is that the votes and proceedings of this House be printed, being first perused by Mr. Speaker, and that he do appoint the printing thereof, and that no person, but such as he shall appoint, do presume to print the same. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. The contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
Outlaw his bill.
The question is that the journal of this House, from the end of the last session to the end of the present session, with an index thereto, be printed. That the said journal and index be printed by the appointment and under the direction of Clifford John Bolton, Esquire, C.B., the Clerk of the House, that the said journal and index be printed by such persons as shall be licensed by Mr. Speaker, and that no other person do presume to print the same. As many as of that opinion say aye. The contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Order. I have to acquaint the House that this House has this day attended Her Majesty in the House of Peers, and that Her Majesty was pleased to make a most gracious speech from the throne to both Houses of Parliament, of which I have, for greater accuracy, obtained a copy. I shall direct that the terms of the speech be printed at the appropriate place in the votes and proceedings. Copies are available in the vote office. Order, order. And it may be for the convenience of the House if I announce the proposed pattern of the remaining days of the debate on the Loyal Address. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Industry and the Environment. Thursday, the 23rd of November, Rights, Freedoms and Responsibilities. Friday, the 24th of November, Foreign Affairs, the European Community and Defence. Monday, the 27th of November, Health and Social Security. Tuesday, the 28th of November, the last day of the Queen's speech, the economy. Mr. Ian Gow.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that an humble address be presented to Her Majesty as follows. Most gracious Sovereign, we, Your Majesty's most dutiful and loyal subjects, the Commons of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, in Parliament assembled, beg leave to offer our humble thanks to Your Majesty for the gracious speech which Your Majesty has addressed to both Houses of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I am mindful of the honour which has been done to my constituents in that I should have been invited to make this speech. A year ago today, the Right Honourable Gentleman, the Leader of the Opposition, quoting the admirable Mr. Colin Welsh of the Daily Mail, described my honourable friend, the member for Pudsey, who had just moved the Loyal Address, as a roly-poly version of Dr. Bodkin Adams. The House, and certainly my honourable friend, the member for Aldershot, may think that that description applies rather better to me. I am sad to have to confirm that the goodly doctor is no longer with us. Sad because at each dissolution of Parliament, he used to send a £5 note to my fighting fund. I have always voted against the televising of the proceedings of this House. And I expect that I always will. The brief intervention of the Honourable Gentleman, the member for Bradford South, did nothing to alter my views. Despite the strongly held opinions which I have on these matters, I received a letter 3 weeks ago. I believe that a copy was sent to each of us, and possibly even to you, Mr. Speaker, which made the following preposterous assertion, and I quote, "The impression you make on television depends mainly on your image, 55%, with your voice and body language accounting for 38% of your impact. Only 7% depends on what you are actually saying." I thought that I should enlist the sympathy of the opposition with that last proposition. The letter went on, and you may think that this was an extravagant claim so far as myself is concerned, but the letter went on, "We can guarantee to improve your appearance." Through a personal and confidential image consultation, you will learn if you need a new hairstyle, and where to get it, and the type of glasses to suit your face. The House will understand why I consider that I was beyond redemption on all counts. Mr. Speaker, Eastbourne has been a separate parliamentary constituency since 1885. Then the electorate was 8,000. Today it is 80,000. I am glad to be able to report that for 100 out of those 104 years, Eastbourne has been represented in the Conservative interest. The solitary lapse took place in 1906. But 4 years of Liberal representation were more than enough and provoked the highest turnout ever recorded, 90.3% of the following general election. From then on, Eastbourne has been true blue, and since 1974, dry as well. East Sussex has long attracted the retired and the semi-retired. My noble friend Lord Shawcross lives at Friston. The Right Honourable Gentleman, the member for Leeds East, whose decision not to seek re-election to this place we all deplore. That Right Honourable Gentleman is the Squire of Friston. And the noble Lord Callaghan has his estate nearby. It will be a source of satisfaction to the party opposite, particularly to those who sit below the gangway, as it is to me, to learn that these three comrades have been able to share in the growing prosperity of the nation, created during the premiership of my right honourable friend, the member for Finchley. But others have shared in that prosperity too. In these past years, 1,657 former tenants of our Borough Council have bought their houses or flats. They remember, Mr. Speaker, that the right to buy legislation was fiercely opposed by the party opposite. I was proud to have had a hand in extending the opportunities for home ownership in the Housing Act of 1984. Last month, Phase 2 of our District General Hospital was opened. All of the medical wards have been transferred from the St. Mary's Hospital, built in the Napoleonic days, to our new hospital. I am pleased to be able to tell the House that our hospital has informed my Right Honourable and learned friend, the Secretary of State for Health, of its intention to seek approval to become a self-governing hospital trust within the National Health Service. In August 1980, the House gave a third reading to the Eastbourne Harbour Bill. Indeed, 180 of my honourable and right honourable friends stayed up until 6:10 in the morning in order to vote for it. The House will want to know that construction work on the harbour project is well underway. Jobs are being created in the short and in the long term. The new harbour will keep Eastbourne in the vanguard, no, ahead of the vanguard, of the increasingly important and increasingly successful British tourist industry. When the harbour is completed, our fishermen will no longer have to drag their craft onto the beach. There will be berths for 1,800 small boats. Miners from Bolsover, entrepreneurs from Newham Northwest, refugees from Brent East, grocers from Old Bexley, intellectuals, real or imagined, from Chesham and Amersham. The Honourable Gentleman, the Honourable Baronet, the member for Clwyd North West, whose reported aspirations to become the Queen's First Minister I am unable to endorse. All these and many more beside will be able to moor their boat or seek refuge from the storm in the new Eastbourne Harbour. Now I must leave. There is absolutely no way in which I shall give way to a member of the Liberal Party. Order! Now I must leave the virtues of Eastbourne and turn to the merits of the gracious speech. I welcome the commitment to support the remarkable changes taking place in Eastern Europe. Speaking in Poland last month, the German Chancellor said that Moscow, Warsaw, Prague, Budapest and Vienna, he made no mention of Leipzig, were as much a part of Europe as London, Brussels, Paris, Rome or Berlin. Dr. Kohl was echoing General de Gaulle's famous concept of a Europe des patries, stretching from the Atlantic to the Urals. It is a concept which I share. I am strongly in favour of the free movement of people, goods and capital within the 12 countries which make up the community. But I have no confidence in the presumed superior wisdom of the Commission in Brussels as compared with the judgment, fallible though it is, of this elected House of Commons. Recent events in Eastern Europe have reinforced that view. If we look forward to the day, as I do, when the whole of the European family can share in that freedom and democracy which we enjoy, then the long-term enlargement of the community is more likely to come about if the nation-states of the 12 do not succumb to the vaulting ambitions of the supranationalists. Mr. Speaker, I also welcome the commitment in the gracious speech to defeat terrorism in Northern Ireland, in Great Britain and in Europe. We ought to send a message from this place to friend and foe alike that our resolve will never weaken, that those who choose the bullet and the bomb will gain no concessions from Her Majesty's government, and that their campaign of terror is as odious as it is futile. Terrorism flourishes where those who perpetrate it believe that one day terror will triumph. That is why we need all of us to give no hint that it ever will. Mr. Speaker, the gracious speech reaffirms the government's commitment to pursue firm financial policies designed to reduce inflation. It is a matter of deep regret to me that inflation is now more than 7%. High interest rates are not the only weapon to defeat inflation, but they are an essential weapon.
Order! Order!
I hope that the abatement of inflation, until we secure our declared aim of stable prices, will characterise the stewardship of my right honourable friend. Mr. Speaker, yesterday, the President of Romania made a speech in Bucharest which lasted for 6 hours and which was punctuated by 67 standing ovations.
Order! Order! It's order. It's customary to give a fair hearing to the member who is proposing the loyal address. Mr. Gao!
Yesterday, the President of Romania made a speech in Bucharest which lasted for 6 hours and which was punctuated by 67 standing ovations. I am thankful that I was not asked to move a vote of thanks to him, but it has been an honour to have been asked to make this speech. It will be a matter of relief to the House to know that there is no precedent for the person who has moved the address being asked to do so on a subsequent occasion.
Mr. David Samba!